This is the GoPro Hero 8 Black, and oh my God, holy crap, is it a lot better than what I've been using. So this is going to be my new head cam from now on. The problem is though, is we need to get this ready for airsoft, and I've got a cheap little dive case here, and we're going to camo it up, so hopefully it's a bit less conspicuous. So let's get to it. Now the problem with the GoPro Hero 8 Black is that the battery door actually covers up the charging port, and I really want the camera to be plugged in all the time to a Anker power bank. And when you open the battery door, you can see the charging connector underneath, and so I found online the plans for a replacement door. I'll link the plans in the description, and you just merely remove this one here, then you hook this one over and snap it in place. Of course, this compromises the waterproof capability of the GoPro, however, I'm not going to be playing underwater, and now I can charge the camera whilst I'm using it. Now, you can use the GoPro without a dive case, however, the dive case just gives that bit of extra protection from shots, and what I'll need to do is I'll need to drill a hole for the charging wire to go through the dive case, and I also want to put a hole in the side for the microphone, and the microphone on this is a lot better than the cheap action cameras, the faux pros that I've been using. And what we're going to do is we're going to mark out where the charging port is, and we're also going to mark out what section I want to cut out or drill out for the microphone. There we are, so that'll be our slot for the charging wire. So I'll just mark it with a plus there, not too worried about making a mess of the case. So now we're going to use the Dremel to cut the rest of this little slot out. And there we are, we have a charging slot. Now we want to drill a hole for the microphone. Now I'm going to use a diamond filing bit on the Dremel just to sort of route it out a bit more. Well, I've squared out that hole and also attacked this side a bit more, so now I just need to go rinse it all out. Right, so I've washed out all the swarf, so now we can put the GoPro in and see how it all fits. So we've got the charging port there and the microphone there. That should all work fine. Hopefully the microphone works alright, because I did this before with another action camera and had an awful whistling noise. If the audio is not great, I'll just use an external microphone, which was the plan anyway. Next up, I want to camouflage this. So what I've got is I've got some old DPM trousers. This is the same camo pattern that I use basically everywhere. So we're going to wrap the camera up like I did with the old camera case, and hopefully that will get rid of the shine and break up the shape of it. We'll start off with by just cutting a big square out and go from there, make a camo handkerchief. So we've got a square of camo, and now we want to work out how we cut a lens hole. So if I fold it in half, cut a little square as well for the monitoring screen. I want it so I can roughly see what's going on for the hole. I'm trying to make it so that it's as disruptive around the lens and the body of the camera as possible. We'll just start blobbing hot glue around on this, sort of make it up as we go along. We'll have a few little dots of hot glue here, there as well. I'll put a tiny little dab on there, try to drag it across the lens. Just fold that back a bit. Of course, this camera case is no longer waterproof, and the GoPro inside without the original battery door on. We're sort of making this up as we go along. And now actually we're going to cut a little slot in the bottom for the mounting legs to poke through like so. This will also, I suppose, act like a bit of a windshield now I think about it. The excess bit on the side for the microphone. So let's just bunch up that. Because it hinges downwards, that shouldn't interfere with it opening. Got right a line of glue there. Be careful with the port, not to get any glue in it. We should be able to open this out still. Yep, more or less. I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue on there. Dob's probably the wrong word, but I've used it anyway. Just to attach that bit to the buckle, just so it doesn't fold down in front of the lens. And if we set it going, yep, we can see it counting, so we now know it's recording. Now, using some old DPM woodland trousers, I've camoed it up like so. Left the lens exposed, of course, and I've left a sort of small jagged edged hole to look at the small screen on the front. The one at the back can just be covered up, there's no real need for me to see it. If I need to access the camera settings in more detail, then it's not going to be on my head anyway, so I can access it like so. There we are, put a bit more on the top just to really break up the shape of it. And now we can remove the film like so. So there we are, that is my GoPro Hero 8 all camoed up, ready to go as a head cam. So now this camera is ready to go for airsoft, and honestly I cannot wait to use it because the quality is absolutely incredible. In the meantime though, why don't you check out the most recent bit of gameplay here.